Hello Skillr Boxers. Today, we're taking a look at a truly dangerous fighter, a boxer with devastating combinations who never stops moving forward. His relentless pressure and crafty inside game make him one of the most violent boxers in the sport today. We'll break down the science behind his violence and explore exactly what makes him so special. We'll walk through the key skills that make him so dangerous, identifying, analysing and explaining them so you can better understand his style, and perhaps even apply some of what you learn to your own game. But before we start the breakdown, we wanted to share an update from our sponsor, Boxing Timer Pro. The app now has a motion capture library with a growing collection of essential patterns and techniques. Version 1.5 also adds new training modules to help Skillr boxers drill more effectively. Download today and master the sweet science. Save 20% with the link below. Boxing stance. One of the first things you'll notice about his stance is how squared up he is to his opponent. While this gives him certain advantages, it has also led to some bad habits that opponents have capitalized on.
Just over 5. That's pretty amazing.
But we'll take a look at that later on in the video. He likes to fight tall in a squared stance, keeping a high guard. He relies heavily on this high guard throughout most of the fight, occasionally switching to a Philly shell, but more sporadically than consistently fighting out of it. As mentioned, most of his offense and defense will come from and rely on the high guard. In fact, many of the skills we will cover today heavily depend on it. Benavidez is quite comfortable blocking and parrying shots from that stance, and while lacking agility in his footwork, his heavy pressure and solid blocking allow him to walk his opponents down.
I was yet to watch Bubble beat up every sparring partner we brought
Facts.
in.
Yep.
Bubble smashed them. Then we brought in Benavidez. And for the first time we saw Bubble not comfortable.
But now let's analyse his best skills. Counterpunching. One of Benavidez's most underrated skills is his counterpunching.
And move up to 175. Therefore, there is an...
While his relentless pressure and combination punching often steal the spotlight, his counters are frequently what cause real damage.
Being in there with a tall guy.
Yeah, he's very slick. Oh, he just got hurt with a left hook, let me tell you. He's still buzzed.
As mentioned, his high guard plays a major role in his style, and also in his counters. One of his most effective ways of countering is after a block.
Or do something to break his rhythm. He just saw it.
I agree with you. That short left.
Sharp left hook.
The defensive high guard often serves as bait for his opponents to initiate the action. Benavidez waits to feel the contact of the block and then shoots his counter.
And that's something we want to hear. Benavidez.
Overreach with that left.
A favourite counter of his is the lead hook, often timed after blocking with the same hand, targeting the open side of his opponent.
This late in the fight.
Apart from his counters off blocks, we see him exploit the lean back quite often, getting out of range with the lean back and coming back in range with a counter.
So far, Benavidez.
He will often use it off the high guard, bringing it down while leaning back and countering to the body. Inside game. Dirty boxing. When it comes to his inside game, he's great at using certain techniques and tricks to create space for punches, get out of a clinch and break his opponent's posture. All of these are key skills to have when boxing on the inside, and are sometimes considered dirty boxing tactics. So let's take a look at how Benavidez is able to capitalize when on the inside. As his opponents struggle to keep up with his pace, they often resort to clinching to slow him down and catch a breather. But Benavidez excels at denying clinches and maintaining the pressure.
Stuff. How is Davis still remaining upright? Champ, I agree with you. That short left hook landed there is dangerous.
As previously mentioned, as Benavidez maintains that squared high guard stance, most try to clinch by surrounding him with his arms. When his opponents attempt to clinch, wrapping their arms around him, Benavidez uses frames with his forearm to maintain space and break the clinch.
Left and the right.
He often makes it dirty by framing with his forearm against their face or pushing them off to create room for punches.
See, that's blatant.
Benavidez, he'll make you pay.
These frames and guard manipulation will also allow him to draw his opponents into shots, breaking their posture and capitalizing on it.
There's another left, and now trying to hold us. The jab. The work is something that's new in this.
Doing the most.
When it comes to guard manipulation, Benavidez will often use the peel, breaking the opponent's guard and coming from the sides. He will use one hand to lower his opponent's arm and quickly throw a hook, often landing on the temple.
Video right on him, not much. Front of him, decent rig.
Rocks comes to the another right. Comes again to the ropes.
He's gonna stop that as soon as there it is.
This tactic is highly effective and has become a staple of his style.
And Benavidez to the body by Benavidez.
Use those long arms.
One of the so much in this 20 against the king of the division.
Another impressive skill is his ability to punch in tight spaces.
And yet Lemieux.
Despite his long arms and tall frame, usually a disadvantage for inside fighting, Benavidez has developed the ability to throw powerful punches with minimal space.
This is a super middleweight. Credit to him, he had Medina. He was not erratic and now uppercut.
He'll use his forearm frames to create just enough room, then rotate his entire body to land devastating shots.
Knockout, so he.
Fast combinations. This is perhaps Benavidez's most notable skill. The speed and precision at which he is able to land combinations is otherworldly. It's difficult to have it all. Often really fast combination punchers rely on powerless flurries that, while flashy and eye-catching, don't do much damage. In the case of Benavidez, he is able to put on 10 punch combinations or more at a quick pace while landing and hurting the opponent.
Shots to the body as Rogelio Medina back with his back on the ropes. Oh my goodness! Rogelio Medina! Will the Medina clan win the right stairs and is trying to bring it into the night. Rogelio Medina, what a punch! And down goes.
He will do that to both head and body. He targets both the head and the body with these combinations, and his body work, in particular, is some of the best in boxing right now.
Double left. Here's again. You look at Benavidez there just 4 years ago.
Still sparring these big.
He rips shots to the body from both long and short range, gradually wearing down his opponents over the course of the fight.
Backing up Rogelio Medina, and there's a puncher's chance, and that is their bravado.
This mix of fast combinations, body work, and relentless pressure makes him such a violent and dangerous fighter. But after seeing his best skills, let's take a look at his major flaw. Flaw: squaring up. As briefly mentioned earlier, Benavidez's squared stance has become a vulnerability that opponents can exploit. Specifically, his flaw lies in the way he resets his feet after throwing a rear hand punch. When he throws the rear with intent, whether it's the straight right or the hook, he often overextends, lifting his rear foot and stepping with it at close or mid-range.
A beautiful combination, there it is.
Not only is the step at range dangerous, but when he steps, he will be left squared to his opponent. We see it happen over and over again.
That left hand has been effective.
That right counter off like that right.
And has a more nuanced.
The way he is able to mitigate this fundamental issue is by simply raising his high guard to block any incoming punches.
Over 5. That's pretty amazing.
Still, this fundamental flaw, even with the guard up, can be a major opportunity for a high-level opponent to exploit. But, as we always say, no style is perfect, and so far, Benavidez has walked through all his opponents with a mix of quick punches and sheer violence. But now, we would love to know your opinion on the comments. Do you see any other skills or flaws in David Benavidez? Let us know, and if the video was interesting, you can find more in our channel. And to your left, there's a video specially suited for you.